Don't mind my hair, I just showered. Being smart is kinda trash, you know. Because it's only kinda trash, of course. Being smart is fire. But here's the thing about being smart, right? And you might have heard this before, but it's like ideas come to your brain so fast, you can't really focus on one thing, and that's why idiots can just, get into positions of power. Ever wonder how, like, if your teachers or your school principal even got into that position, being such a big, massive retard? And it's like, wow. And the thing with being smart is, right, I have like so many thoughts and so many ideas just, on and on in my brain. I feel like I've at least had 5 amazing video ideas that I just couldn't implement because I just forgot about them. And, that's that. Missed opportunities are a real thing. That's why I began, noting down my thoughts and stuff. Actually works really well. Anyway, ideas are something that are fundamental to your being as a human, right? All of us have ideas, all of us have our thoughts. And I feel like once you stop, innovating, you become more and more of a shell of a person, right? The less thoughts you have, the less you make yourself make yourself think. You start becoming a shallow person, right? Because what are you just going in the direction of becoming a robot essentially, and you don't want that. But here's the thing. Being smart and being perceived as a good person by majority of the public is a very difficult thing to do, and I'll tell you why. In the political sphere, right, let's talk about Western politics, right? Because who gives a shit about Indian politics? It's all dog shit anyways. But there's voices like, Charlie Kirk, who recently passed away. Well, didn't just pass away, he was like assassinated. And then there's Nick Fuentes, and especially strong. I have a very, very strong stance on Nick. He probably is the most correct, most trustworthy source on Western politics you can find. And here's the thing. People still hate on that guy. And it's because of propaganda. Right? People always talk about, in the West especially, a police brutality and stuff against black people. And it's like out of 300 million citizens, only 15 blacks get killed because of that. It's kind of weird. And when you are smart, dumbasses don't really get your points. And when you are really smart, right, when you do think, not even being smart, even when you do think a lot, you will start heading into directions that are just completely strange to people. Like, let's say if you're a beginner at Clash Royale, right, and I start talking about some like predictions and log bait and kiting shit, and like, I don't know, the whole Path of Legends, you'll be like, what? I don't even know how this game works. What's going on? And in politics, when that happens, people don't want to believe they're idiots, so they just call out and insult and try to flame those who are actually making really good points. But because the people don't even understand the basis behind those advanced points, those points seem sort of evil, sort of improper, sort of inhuman to them. And that's how propaganda gets spread. And when a lot of people believe something, there's a high chance that you can get convinced about it, because that's how we just work. Pattern recognition, right? I feel like our brains have the capacity to evolve beyond our primal states. Here's what I mean. We study, which isn't fun, and we call it discipline. Have you ever seen another animal have discipline? When animals want to mate, they just go ahead and do it. Do they have sexual discipline? I don't think so. So the thing that separates humans from animals is our ability to have discipline. And I completely forgot where I was going with that. Wait, let me collect my thoughts real quick. Yeah, so I feel like instead of just relying on, the news or pattern recognition, what your friends are saying, you should do your own research. And I feel like because of our extremely well done evolution, we can defy our own flesh. Here's what I mean. Your flesh wants you to keep eating more and more. It's bad for you, you stop. Your flesh wants to keep scrolling. It's bad for you, you have to study, you stop. I don't think animals have the ability to do that. I mean, they do have the ability, I just don't think they're smart enough. And when all the news outlets and all the magazines, all the newspapers, all the, media, the TV shows are all talking about some bullshit, you'll start to be convinced it's real. And sometimes it's just not. And because you're human, you can understand that. You can do your own research, you can dig deeper because you're human and you'd know better than to just trust the people, because the people are retarded. And because the people are retarded, they hate the smart ones. Now, I don't know if I come under the smart category or the dumb category. I just know that the smart ones are often hated by the dumb ones. And it's the saying, you'll never see a hater doing better than you. Exactly, because they're focused on things. Because you're focused on things ahead of you. Actual events, actual goals. And they're focused on the people ahead of them. Get it? That's why when smart people try to talk about something, they talk about ideas. They hate ideas. They love ideas. But when dumbasses talk about shit, they hate the people who promote different ideas, right? And it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a very shitty truth. But it comes down to the same question. Would you rather be smart and hated, or be an absolute retard and just another pawn living in society? I don't know. That's for you to choose. Just know, when you stop raising your voice, when you stop standing up for what you believe in, don't be surprised when you don't get what you believe in. Good night.